Yeah. Named Chad. Yeah, good boy, right there. Cold, huh? Yeah. Hey, thanks. Yeah. People. Okay. Lumber. Yeah. Yeah. Right there. Hunger and food. Can't make that worse. It burn a lot of meat. You got it. Run down. Bring back. Okay, cooking here. Never mind. Down just, here's your wheel. Tinner. Good to go.
Let's make this quick. Far Cry 5 is pretty much just another open-world Ubisoft game, complete with regions, outposts to take over, and things to collect. You play as a silent protagonist, a male or female deputy, in pursuit of dismembering a dangerous religious cult who believe that the world is coming to an end. The leader of this group is Joseph Seed, aka the Father, who you eventually confront after dealing with his other three siblings. Spoiler alert, only not really, although I will say that I actually like the story a lot thanks to these interesting baddies you face, and how they interact with you more and more as you destroy what they have built.
Oh! Come in! Over!
A wretch like me.
Please, are you there? Is somebody there? Please.
I told you that God wouldn't let you take me.
Please. I need to know what's going on.
Dispatch.
Oh my God.
Everything is just fine here. I don't need to call anyone.
Yes, Father. Praise be to you.
No one is coming to save you.
God has kept you under the shadow of his wings.
Pretty much the entire game and everything you do, from side missions to rescuing hostages to clearing outposts to going fishing, progresses whichever region you are in. You need to gain enough resistance points in each of the three regions in order to confront each of these three siblings that control that region. The entire game map is actually open to you from the very start. You can choose to go wherever you want and progress through the game and any of the regions however you want at your own pace, making this the most open-ended Far Cry game in the series to date. There's not much to say about the gameplay and combat itself. It's exactly what you'd expect because it's exactly the same as what we got from Far Cry 3 and 4. Shooting and stealth mechanics as well as the control scheme remain pretty much more of the same. I really wish you could crawl though, as that really would have helped me conceal stealth more often. You can also fly planes and helicopters, but I find the controls to be absolutely awful, and find it almost impossible to turn a plane without doing barrel rolls. The game, of course, also has various level up perks that do make considerable differences in the way you play. You can also upgrade your weapons, and the amount of mods for most weapons are surprisingly good. I've noticed that you no longer have health fragments like you did previously. Now it's just one regenerating health bar. Whether this was a positive or negative change is up for you to decide. All I know is I thought this game was way too hard. Playing on easy, I died more times in this game than any other Far Cry. That's saying a lot because that also includes the very original Far Cry. I am not new to first-person shooters, okay? I've been playing shooters for over 20 years, and it's definitely one of the harder shooters I've played, period. It got to a point where I was getting more frustrated than I should have been. It also doesn't help that there were many bugs that just made the game even harder. Some weren't. Some were just weird bugs where NPCs or animals just got stuck in rocks and trees and shit like that. Before I wrap up the campaign, I just want to say on a very positive note that I think this is the least repetitive of all the Far Cry games, as many of the main and side missions you do are very different, unique, or varied in what the game wants you to do and how to figure out your objective. The best examples are perhaps the Prepper Stash missions, which are considered the treasure hunts, and almost all of them had their own way of making you figure out how to infiltrate the hidden area, like draining a flooded basement or sniping a lock through a back window from across a lake are just two examples out of dozens. Let's move on to the arcade mode. Arcade mode is where you get to create and upload a co-op or competitive multiplayer map with your own rules, weapon loadouts, and gameplay modifications. This is something that the series has left out since Far Cry 2 a decade ago. The problem I have is that there's not really any tutorials on how to do anything, and I find the controls for this to be just bad, if not confusing to say the least, and it kind of shows when playing other players' maps that aren't very well made. Some actually are okay, and overall, I actually enjoyed the competitive multiplayer, even if there's only 2 game modes, Team Deathmatch and Free-for-All. As for the co-op, well, I couldn't experience it because Ubisoft thought it was a good idea to have invite-only co-op for both the campaign and arcade instead of some form of drop-in or matchmaking. And as of right now, I have no one on my PSN friends list who are playing the game. So, yeah, fuck me. Far Cry 5 was a fine game. Not the best Far Cry, but not the worst either. But overall, I'm starting to get tired of the Ubisoft formula in general. They keep rehashing the same experience over and over again throughout all their biggest series, whether it's Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, or now Ghost Recon. They really need to start giving us some more originality if they expect us, or at least me, to keep buying their products. I was going to give Far Cry 5 an 8 out of 10, but I cannot forgive them for not having public co-op. I mean, come on, this is 2018, have public co-op. And it's because of that that Far Cry 5 gets a still pretty good 7 out of 10. If you still love playing Far Cry games, you should enjoy this. If you hate Far Cry, you'll hate this. And if you're like me, and you're starting to get tired or bored with these types of games, well, there are better games out there for sure. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching this non-bullshit skit review. Here's that one epilogue clip I sometimes pointlessly include in my reviews. Gotta go!
This place gave me the chance to become something I thought I could never be. Happy. And in the end, Rook, isn't that the only thing that really matters? Happiness.
The Gamer Gods!
Fail!